Hello and welcome to your first WordPress theme project. This project will be a little different than the rest because it's going to be sort of an introductory project. I'm going to show you how to install and set up WordPress so that you can have a fresh installation to work with. Now we will be creating a theme, but we'll be focusing more on the code and the overall look than the overall look and style. Alright, so creating the files and folders, where and what PHP code to add, things like that. I want to get you familiarized with the PHP code, and then after that we can add some simple style. Now as far as an environment, there's a lot of different ways you can run WordPress. You may have your own server set up. If you don't, you can use something like AMPS, which is what I'll be using. It gives you an Apache server, PHP, and MySQL all on your local machine. XAMPP or XAMPP is very similar. You could use that. You could use WAMP. There's also MAMP for Mac. There's a lot of different choices, but if you want to use AMPS like I am, you can go to amps.com. Just go ahead and download it. It's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Pretty easy to get set up. Alright, now I don't have WordPress installed, so we're going to go through and do that together, although most of you probably already know how to do this. Okay, so I'm at wordpress.org. I'm going to go ahead and download the package. And I'm going to go to my server root. If you're using AMPS, it should be in your C drive or your root drive, and in AMPS. And actually, you know what? I think the default is in your program files, but I set it up in my C drive in AMPS, and then there's a www folder. That's the hosting root. So I'm going to create a folder here called WP Themes, and that's going to be the folder that I'm going to install WordPress in. Alright, so let me just open up my downloads, and I'm going to grab the WordPress package, open that up, and then just take everything from there into the project folder. Okay, so now we have the files. Now before we do anything here, we need a database, a MySQL database. If you installed AMPS or you're using XAMPP or something like that, then you most likely have phpMyAdmin. That's what we'll be using. So you can go to localhost, what shouldn't be localhost.org, that's weird. We're going to go to http localhost/phpMyAdmin. Okay, and now we'll go to databases. We're going to create a new database. I'm going to call it WP Themes. Create. Okay, so now we have an empty database. Now we're going to go back to the files that we created or that we brought over from the WordPress package, and you should have this wp config sample.php. What we want to do is rename this to just wp config. You want to get rid of the dash sample. Alright, and then we're going to open that up, and I'll be using Sublime Text as my editor. You can use whatever editor that you feel comfortable with. So what we're going to do here is change some things, or add some things. The DB name we're going to put right here, which in my case is WP Themes. The DB user, okay, my user is root, and the password. You want to put whatever your password for your database is. Alright, the rest can stay the same. We're going to go ahead and save that, and then we should be able to go to localhost/WP Themes. Okay, so now we can go ahead and run the installation. Site title, I'm just going to call WP, actually I'll just say WordPress dev. Admin. Okay, you want to choose your password. I'm using a very weak password. Email. And install WordPress. Okay, so success. Let's click on login. That'll take us to the admin login. Go ahead and put your username and password in, and it'll take you to your back end. Okay, we can go and say visit site. We'll open that in a new tab, and we have a brand new WordPress site. Okay, so this is what we'll be working with. So I'm sure you guys, a lot of you guys have experience with WordPress. Basically, we have our posts area here where we can create and manage posts. We can have our categories, pages. Okay, these are just website pages, like let's say about us or services, things like that would go here. If we go to appearance and we click on themes, that shows us the installed themes. By default, we have 2014, 2015, and 2016, which is the one that's enabled. But we will be creating a new theme in the next video. Okay, so we'll get to that next.